with NFL PR. I'll be moderating today's session.
Yes,
And we'll get started. For any media on the call, if you can, please just update your name with your affiliation as well. That'll help us on our end. I will have coach for about 25 minutes, and we'll get started. So the first question will come from Jake Malik.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. You had the pleasure of coaching some really great players this year, and you lost Robert Woods due to just a sad injury, really. Just that's got to hurt. But you get OBJ. Obviously, I don't think anybody really knew that Woods was going to be out the whole season at that point. But how did it kind of help you in terms of coaching your guys, your receiver room, knowing that you had a guy like OBJ to kind of come in and try and help step up? And I also, just to add on that, I was hearing from Sean, you and OBJ are pretty close. So, every meeting he's with you. So just can you expand on the relationship you guys have as well?
Well, I kind of met OBJ back with his coach Adam Henry when we played him a couple of years ago. He probably don't remember, but he set a positive example right then and there. I knew that he was a hell of a player, but the way he spoke with me before the game, I just knew he was a hell of a person too. He does sit next to me in meetings. He's taking notes. He's bright-eyed. He's always asking questions. Sometimes I got to stop him from asking questions because Sean is talking. I say, "Oh, hold that question down until we finish." But he's a pleasure to coach.
All right, this next question will come from Trevor Denton at KVAL TV.
Hey, Coach. Coming to you from Eugene, Oregon, and wanted to ask about your time at Oregon State as a coach there. And specifically, you were there when Jonathan Smith was the quarterback. So just curious if from coaching him back then, you knew that he would become a head coach someday and continue in that profession.
It was no doubt that Jonathan was going to be a head coach. Jonathan used to be in, much like Cooper Kupp, Jonathan used to be in the meetings with the coaches and stuff, adding to the game plan. His knowledge was the game was so vast that he saw it as a coach and not as a player. Just like Cooper, you hear me reference Cooper. He saw the big screen. A lot of players just see the little tiny TV. He sees the whole picture, and you knew he was going to be a coach. The moment I met him, the moment I spent time with him, I knew he was going to be a head coach, and I knew he was going to be a good head coach because he's a leader of men. And he's well respected in his profession.
Thank you.
All right, this next question comes from Jordan Rodriguez at The Athletic.
Hey, Yarbs, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Jordan?
Doing well.
That's great to hear.
Hey, I wanted to ask something you mentioned earlier about we've heard a lot this year about Cooper and Robert too. Before he got hurt, about them being empowered to help move this offense forward in terms of the game planning and the design and some of the creative things they can do with the option routes and all of that. At what point do you know as a teacher in a person's sort of career or development that they are ready for something like that? And with Robert and Cooper, what did that lend in terms of you guys expanding your offense, especially bringing in Matthew as well to do that?
When you got players of that caliber that are that smart and sees the games that well, some things they see that coaches don't see. They feel that coaches can't feel. And they would have little suggestions all the time. Maybe if we do it this way, coach, it'll open it up. They had conversations between themselves. They had conversations between themselves and myself, and I would say, "Hey, you need to bring up that point to coach." And that started early on. They started meshing probably about the second year, and they wanted to know the whole game plan. And when you got guys like that who wants to know the whole game plan, you know they have something special in the makings.
Thanks, Yarbs.
A lot of times they even knew what the lineman was supposed to do. Where the point of the lineman, no. Push to, no. The mic is 55. You'll hear Cooper Roberts say, no, push it out here to this nickel, 24. And you see stuff like that on film. I mean, not on film, but in practice, you say, these two guys get it.
what is that? If I could just follow up, and thanks to the moderator for letting me do so. What does that do for you as a coach and a teacher, though, with that light bulb, when those light bulb moments happen?
Tell you the truth, it makes me look like I'm a better coach when you got players like that. It's so satisfying, and you want to take their input. You're more receptive to all the input that they have because they get the game. And I'm just glad Cooper or Robert don't need a job right now, because Coach McVay will hire both of them right now over me.
Thanks, Yarbs.
Up next is Brandon Cristal from KOA.
Yarbs, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
Good, man. So I'm curious, when you were a player, you played with Art Monk and Gary Clark, and you coached guys like, TJ and Ocho Cinco when they were in college, and you were around TO. And OBJ, as a perennial Pro Bowler we get, and a impact player. But when did you realize Cooper Kupp was on their level, or maybe, even above some of those guys, certainly with the year he had? When did it click where you're like, oh, this guy could be really special?
I think you might have started at the workout, but you saw
the workout.
Yeah. You saw Cooper was, all right, he was faster than a lot of people thought. He was quicker than a lot of people thought. He had a great foot speed, and you knew he had the talent to be a pretty good player. But then when you mesh that talent with the FBI, the football intelligence, and that goes hand in hand. You really know you got something special, and he did that at an early age.
Well, then, are you surprised that he continues to still be open by the end of the game, especially when you look at what he's done in the playoffs? That he's not, that his day's not maybe more difficult. Not that it's not difficult, but that he's still been able to have the success despite all the attention he gets now.
No, I'm not surprised, because first and foremost, Coach McVay changes where he is all the time. He doesn't let a guy get a beat on him. If they do get a beat on him, Cooper is talented enough to beat any one-on-one coverage. He's just like you mentioned, those elite guys. The elite guys can beat one-on-one coverage. They demand double coverage. And right now, if people have egos and don't want to double him, I'm happy with that. But but I advise you to double this guy, because if you don't, he's gonna have a lot of success. And his success doesn't just come with his skill sets on the field. He's in here at 6 o'clock in the morning. All right, I have to get here at 5:15, 5 o'clock to beat him and Matt to the office. And one of the things as coaches, you don't like guys beating you to the office. So I got to get up at 5:15. Well, get in here at 5:15 and 5:30 to beat those guys in. And they're putting the work in hours. I mean, just going over film, studying the situation, third downs, red zone, 2 minute. They know exactly what they're going to see when they hit the field. And that's why they can play so fast, because they know what's about to come.
Thanks, Yarbs.
All right, up next is Katie Baker from The Ringer.
Hi, Coach. I apologize if I'm repeating a question that you got at the top of the call. I logged on a little bit late.
No apologies needed, Katie.
But I'd love to hear two things about Odell Beckham. Number one, tell me, what your day was like on the day that you found out he was, coming to the team. And number two, what can you say about his, sorry, I'm sitting in the car with my kids. What can you say with his ability to, he's no longer necessarily the 1A. I don't even know if you think about things in terms of 1A or that sort of thing, but how has his mentality been in terms of just wanting to be part of the team and to, really work with the entire core of players?
When I look at OB, I look at somebody that you say perception versus reality. You put from the outside narrative, you thought he was a selfish player, a guy that just wanted the ball and didn't care about his teammates. But the reality of all that, he's not a selfish player. He loves his teammates. He plays for his teammates. He prepares in a manner just like the rest of the guys. The effort that he gives on the field is just like all the great ones. All the great ones, you don't have to push them. Matter of fact, they want to be pushed. They want to be coached. And I saw that from day one in him. He wanted to be coached, and he wanted to be better. He wanted to be a good teammate. It wasn't like, give me the ball, give me the ball. Hey, listen, if I don't get the ball, I'm going to do my run blocking duties in the run game until the ball finds me. And that's a great characteristic to have.
Thanks so much.
Up next is Blake Beasley from Tunnel Vision Sports.
Hey, Coach. Blake Beasley, Tunnel Vision Sports. How are you doing?
I'm good, Blake. How are you?
I'm doing great. Last year, Cooper Kupp had 974 yards and 3 touchdowns. This year, he posted a historic 1,974 yards and 16 touchdowns. Can you talk about the jump he's made in the moment you could tell he was having a historic type of year?
I really didn't just keep track of his historic year, but I knew that he was going to progress every year, because Cooper is not satisfied just with a little success. He strives for perfection. He's always trying to better himself. After every season, I'm trying to get rest, maybe a 2 or 3 week break after the season is done. But no, Cooper Kupp's come in, yards. You got my point of attack ready, my point of attack tape ready. Cooper, man, it's only 2 weeks out, man. I'll get that to you. All right. I haven't even studied any film from this year yet. All right. I haven't made your tape. I haven't studied you yet. But he wanted it right away because he's pursuing excellence. It's nonstop excellence that he's pursuing.
Thank you.
All right. The next question is from Eduardo Vidal of Hispanic Sport Media.
Hey, Coach, Eduardo Vidal for Hispanic Sports Media. Congrats for the Super Bowl. Coach,
Is it Eduardo? Because I don't want to mess up the name.
Eduardo.
Forgive me if I said it wrong. I'm sorry.
No problem. Coach, many people criticized Odell Beckham Jr. in his time in Cleveland. When he came to the Rams, he began to show his capability as an incredible receiver. What is about OBJ's quality that makes him such a special receiver?
I think his work ethic, his wanting to be the greatest of all time. That's what he told me that early on when I met him. I want to be the best ever, and that's the way he prepares in meetings. And that's the way he prepares on the field, that he's trying to be the best ever. And I just can't reiterate how good of a teammate he is, how unselfish he is. He doesn't care who gets the credit. He just wants success. He wants a ring. He wants a champion. He's sitting next to me today. There's no way they can beat us. I said, Jose, just calm down. No wine before it's time. All right, just chill out. That day's gonna come. We'll take care of that. But he's much like Cooper. He's pursuing excellence, and he wants to be the greatest of all time.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, this next question comes from Scott Morganroth, the South Florida Tribune.
Hi, Coach. Pleasure to meet you. I love your energy. It's just contagious. So coming from, there's no way I cannot say that. But at any rate, if I'm understanding you correctly about Beckham, okay, I get the feeling that you're telling me that he's very misunderstood. Is that correct?
Oh, definitely. He's very, very misunderstood. Perception versus reality. All right. And I think nowadays, he's just being himself, and he doesn't care how people see him. He's just going to be the best version of himself. And I do think he's misunderstood.
And then the second part of my question is, let's talk about the man throwing him the football, Matthew Stafford. My goodness. I mean, this guy here is probably what I consider the Rodney Dangerfield of quarterbacks. He doesn't get any respect unless you put a lot of great players around him. But what are your thoughts about Matt Stafford overall? He's a fine quarterback, and now he's surrounded with the talent around him that could obviously enhance what he's already doing.
I remember I was at Arizona State in 2007, and Matthew was at Georgia and we were playing him, and he was spinning that ball like no other. Every throw that was supposed to be made, every throw that was contested, he could make. Every throw, anytime a receiver was open, covered, or what have you, he made every throw. And I said to myself, I said, this dude's going to be special. I think it was a freshman or sophomore. And I think he had A.J. Green, another freshman. And they were lighting it up then, but it's not a surprise that he's having so much success right now, because it starts with his preparation. All right, he prepares like no other. All right, he's the first one in the building and the last one to leave. I know you hear that a lot of times from other players, but this is the actual truth. He's the first one in the building and the last one to leave, and he's always studying and preparing. And like I said before, when they get on the field, it's like it's in slow motion. They've seen it before. They've seen it over and over and over. Oh, this is what's coming. All right. And so that allows them to play so fast and play at a high level.
So it's almost like the game kind of comes from a little bit with the amount of preparation that they put into.
Yes, yes. And just like Cooper and some of the other, like Jonathan Smith, somebody mentioned earlier, they have input in the game plan. They see things that, a coach may not see,
All right. This next question comes from Zolt Kuhn at Arena 4.
Hey, coach, and greetings from Hungary.
Hungary. All right.
Yeah, from Hungary, from the middle of Europe.
Well,
first of all, congratulations. Then I have to ask my question. So when the team signed Odell, there were people who said that he's already past his prime, but in the playoffs, he proved that he has what it takes to play on the big scene. What led to this small reborn? Were there any special drills that helped him get back his old form?
well, you would love to say you would want to take credit for that, but this is a gifted athlete. His skills have not declined. All right, his skills are still at a high level, man. He's quick as two cats. He can run 22, almost 23 miles an hour. His hands are he has the hands of a guy 6'5", the arm length of a guy 6'5". Great hand-eye coordination. All the things you want to see in a receiver, all the qualities you want in a receiver, he has them still. And I just think a change of scenery helped him out. What Coach McVay, the culture that he cultivates around here, if you can't thrive here, you can't thrive anywhere. So I kind of blame it. I give credit to Coach McVay and the culture that he's created around here.
Thanks a lot for your answer, and I wish you the best for Sunday.
Hey, thank you. I wish you the best too.
See ya.
All right.
This next question comes from Mark Craig with the Minneapolis Star Tribune.
Yeah, Eric, I just want to get your thoughts on Kevin O'Connell and just what do you think his strongest strength is and what makes you think he'll be a success when he gets to the Vikings as head coach?
How he relates to people. All right. First and foremost, he's a guy that has great character. All right. He's a guy that's willing to serve. And in order to be a great leader, I think you have to be willing to serve before you can be a great leader. And that's a characteristic that he had. He has tremendous knowledge. People don't know the input that he's had with Coach McVay in this offense. He's a leader of men. I have no doubt that he's going to have a lot of success at Minnesota. He has talent there, and he's going to bring a fun style of offense, and he's going to put together a staff that are good people first and foremost, and then they're going to have a wealth of knowledge. But first and foremost, he's going to have an environment where people can thrive and want to be there and want to be around him and care. And somebody said that I had a lot of energy, and that's the same thing they're going to get with Kevin. He's going to have a great energy. He's going to enjoy every day around him. And it's not going to be a drudgery coming to work. All right. He's going to come to work with a smile on his face, and he's going to have his hard hat on, and he's going to go to work. he's going to be successful.
What ways would you say he served? You explain that a little bit. What you mean by that he served.
Well, he's my coordinator, but sometimes I'll ask him things, and he goes out his way to help me. He goes out of his way, things that he don't have to do. He goes out of his way to serve you. And that's what great leaders do. They serve first so that people will follow them. If that explains it.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This next question comes from Stephen Box at Sideline Sports.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on making it to the Super Bowl first and foremost.
Thank you, Steve. We got one more hurdle. We don't just want to make it. We're going to try to get over that next hurdle.
I hear you on that. It's obviously great having talented people at the wide receiver position, but it's also important that you have some complementariness between that group. Can you talk about what these guys do on the field that allows them to go out there and work so well together?
Well, first and foremost, I feel like they don't care who gets the credit. They just want to win. They're selfish. They're not insecure. They're secure about their talents. They're secure about what they know. So all they want to do is just win, right? And they don't care how we win. If they catch 2 or 3 passes in a win, or they catch 10 passes or 11 passes in the win. They don't care if they have to block linebackers, safeties, or corners. They just trying to do what it takes to win, doing my job to the best of my ability so that we can get a win. And not just do it one time, but do it over and over and over. Give that all for 6 to 7 seconds. Come back to the huddle and do it again, giving them my all. If somebody cut the film on and look at them for the very first time, what will they say about their effort? And that's how they play the game.
All right, we just got a few more minutes left. This question will come from Stu Jackson.
What up, Stu?
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good, Stu. How are you, sir?
Great. Great to hear from you. So Cooper Kupp, everyone knows about the tremendous season that he's had, continues to have, obviously. What's maybe something that's, I don't know, under the radar, or that maybe people haven't noticed that you have from working closely with him that's contributed to that success this year?
Cooper doesn't, he rarely makes mistakes. But if he does make a mistake, he lets that go. He can go to the next play and not let a lot of receivers, they'll make a mistake or do something that's not right, and they'll let it affect a play later on down the line. Cooper, he doesn't do that. He plays the next play. He just lets that go off his back. All right. If he missed a block, last game he dropped the ball. You wouldn't have never known he dropped the ball. You never saw his head go down. You never saw his hand clap or anything. He just played the next play and not let one bad play affect the next play. The next play is the most important play, and he plays that like it is.
Thank you.
All right, up next is Julian Giuliarte.
Hey, Eric, congrats on making the Super Bowl. Obviously, you guys have one of the best receiving cores in the NFL, and I think someone that goes under the radar in that is Van Jefferson. So I'm curious on your thoughts about getting him involved in this game and what he's done this year, like maybe some stuff that people don't know.
I call him Sweet Feet. It's a pleasure to coach Van Jefferson. He's made a big time jump from his rookie year to now. Being around Cooper has helped him to become a pro. He tries to prepare. Well, he does prepare like Cooper. He's in here studying film. He's doing the little things. He's taking notes in the meeting and is translating to his play on the field. It's been a pleasure to coach him, and I'm very fortunate to have him right now.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, we got time for one more question. It'll come from Joe Ellis at Sideline Sports.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on getting to the Super Bowl. So you guys brought in OBJ in the middle of the year. You have Cooper Kupp, who had a record-setting year. Robert Woods. So you guys have some phenomenal receivers. What do each of them do differently that they bring to the receiver room?
Well, all of them, we talk about being complete receivers. All of them are complete receivers. Robert played the Z receiver, and I call him the most complete because what he brings to the table is a toughness to our team. He's a dog on the field. He's transformed into something I've never seen before. You may see that smiling face in practice and when he's around the building, but when he gets on the field, he transforms to somebody. You look in his eye and you say, I don't know this guy. Who is this? All right. Robert could, he can run intermediate routes. He can run quick routes. He can take it over the top. He can be your fullback when needed, when need be. And when he went down, Cooper Kupp took over that role of being a fullback. I mean, here he is, a 1,900-yard receiver, but he's doing everything he can in the run game. And one thing I am most excited about these guys is that they are complete receivers and they're selfless. They don't care who gets the credit. They just want to win and have them and trust their teammates and have their teammates be successful.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today. Coach, thanks for joining us and best of luck on Sunday.
All right, thank you. God bless you guys.